How we doing, everybody? This is Let's Be Real Brad, and today I'm gonna be talking about the awesome first season of The Mandalorian. Before I start off with this review, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. It means the world to me. You guys are liking my videos. Subscribe to the channel. You guys are the best. The Mandalorian Season 1 is a 2019 space western Disney Plus original television series that was created by Jon Favreau. The show begins 5 years later after the Return of the Jedi film, the sixth Star Wars film in chronological order, as Pedro Pascal, the title character, as a bounty hunter who is hired to retrieve the child. This is the best Star Wars content that we have gotten in the Disney era. The reason for this is because it is so different, it's fresh, and it's original, and it adds that Star Wars element, but feel like its own thing. Star Wars has always been an epic space opera film, but this is more of a space western show that kind of does its own thing. It has these own separate missions that the Mandalorian goes on to request his duties, and he ends up retrieving the child that happens in the very first episode. Spoiler, but you guys all know the child at this point. And that's the crazy part about it. The child grew so big. Everyone loves Baby Yoda and wants him on everything. I mean, heck, it's one of the reasons why I got the shirt. He's on tons of memes, and they didn't even realize that he was going to be so big that they had no merchandise for Baby Yoda at all, so they just started mass producing it and getting it out there because it was so great, and they really focused it on this father and son relationship between the two on these set of missions, and that grows that emotional attachment that you have for the Mandalorian as he changes and grows as a person, as a bounty hunter who's supposed to just do jobs without personal feelings, and now things are changing for him as a character, and Baby Yoda being his cuteness and how awesome he is, that it makes the show so much better. One of the greatest aspects of this that people obviously love is, oh, my nose is so itchy because I'm so excited. It's $100 million budget. So that's basically $12.5 million per episode, which is considered a lot for a TV show, and it really broke ground of how you can make such an amazing show with a big budget, and it really pushed those grounds because special effects, production design, cinematography are really excellent in this film. It looks like just as a Star Wars film would look, and I think it even looks better than maybe some of the other Star Wars films because they know how to budget these shots so well. The action scenes are done extremely well. The thing I love is the Mandalorian. I think they do so well with that Mandalorian idea that we've known of guys like Boba Fett, Jango Fett as these bounty hunters that have become such a cultural icon. But we got so much more of this side of the bounty hunters that we've never really seen before in the Star Wars universe. Never really got their own attention. So this was such a cool avenue to go with. And it was such a really great idea about the creed and about what they stand for and dying a hero's journey and how they're like these warriors that they can't reveal themselves. They have such a cool little background that gets revealed as time goes, and it adds a lot more humanity to them. I think pretty much all the episodes are extremely entertaining. The writing is solid as well. There are some issues with the writing that we will get to. I found myself always attached to what was happening, and sure, most of this does feel like just mission after mission to get where we need to go, and it does feel like more of an introduction season, but it is the first season, and they're trying to set up a lot of things, and it does make for some negatives, but I think there's some good positives with it as we're revealing what this universe is like after 5 years after the Return of the Jedi. What is the world coming to? Is it kind of a free-for-all? Who is enforcing the law? Who is really making these big trades? Who are making these big moves right now? Who are the bad guys? Who are the good guys? And so it establishes that universe. So I think that they really do have a big plan for the next couple of seasons. And I think this is a really awesome season for the introductory season, but I guarantee you these next couple of seasons, because it will be successful, are gonna be so fantastic. And so that's what I'm really hoping for, and so that's why I can see that development there. I can see that forward thinking that the other Star Wars newest trilogy didn't have at all. Obviously the best scenes in this film are the Mandalorian and the child. They're absolutely hilarious, they're emotional, they're super sweet. You like every scene with them, and they're pretty much in mostly every scene of the show, so that's why it's so good. Especially the ones when they're alone, or the little things that he tries to teach him, and it's like, hey, no, you can't play with this, and it's just so cute, and you just go so emotionally wrapped into it, and how much he really does care for the child, and he goes out of way to do stuff for him, becomes more of a fatherly role. And I love the way this last episode ends. I won't reveal, just in case you guys haven't seen it. It really capped off what the next couple of seasons are going to be like and where the show is going to be directing, and I thought it was really done in the best way possible that is great for the fans and great for any newcomers to Star Wars that I think they'll really enjoy. Sure, there's so many nostalgic references in this show, but I feel as though that they're used so well, and then they're just there to make the story so much better. I think you feel like you're in the Star Wars world, but I really think if you're not even really a big Star Wars fan, I think you can throw yourself right into this, not knowing any Star Wars film, and just having such a good time. If you really enjoy a sci-fi movie, sci-fi show, add some Western elements to it in the modern day world with a big budget, I can surely tell you you're gonna like this show with a lot of emotional investment, really good and developed characters, and really solid writing that makes this show so enjoyable. The only negatives, as I kind of mentioned before, is some of the writing, especially in episode 8, that I really do enjoy a lot of the jokes in this show, but there's some parts where it's just so in your face with these expository dialogue that just feels like we already know what's happening, and it feels like it's trying to go for this lower audience, that trying to gain a bunch of a wider audience, and they know younger children are probably watching, so they gotta explain everything. It is a little annoying. The negative is that the show definitely feels like it's a setup. I mean, like I said, there's good and bad, but there's sometimes where it's just trying to set up other things that are going to happen, and sometimes it fails to tell that story. It definitely feels like you're in an introduction season, and so that times it can get a little annoying, especially in certain episodes where you're just kind of bored and you're like, okay, we've already seen this, we've already seen a lot of these episodes have somewhat of a same structure as it did the last one, but there's always something that's enjoyable with some really great action scenes, really great emotional investments, and so those are really just kind of picky things that I think gonna have to happen in an introduction season. But to be honest, this is such a great season, especially for a first season. I think this is really well done, and this show is only gonna get better as it goes along, and I'm so excited to invest all my time into this new show, and I'm gonna give it a strong 8 out of 10. Let me know, guys, have you guys seen The Mandalorian? Are you guys gonna be watching season 2? I hope you guys do if you enjoyed the first season. Let me know anything about Star Wars, The Mandalorian down below. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video.